This is Chapter 4, The Lost Town, Chapter 2.
The Lost Hotel Chapter 4, The Lost Town Chapter 2. Copyright John R. Rowland 3, December 10th, 2014. Jack, Lee. Jane, wife. Joe, guy at front desk. Betty, owner. Manny, owner's husband. Hank, teaching science in the local college. Sally, female bear. Moose, male bear. Sid Banderaid, owner of the Lost Town. Mac, maintenance man. Anne Harrington. She lives in the old house out back of the old INN in the Lost Town. S&S Construction Company. His name is Kevin Cacklin. He is the one that rents the left side of town. That is when you come into town, he is on the left. We went back to Sid's office and we talked for a while, and then I said, okay, where can we sleep tonight? Sid said, well, there is one place you can sleep tonight, but it is not very warm though. It is not really cold yet out there, so it might not be too bad tonight. He said, follow me. We went outside and he walked down the street and he opened a door and said, okay, come in, and we went in and lit a candle, and in the back of the room there were 4 beds and not much else in the room. He said, you can sleep in here tonight. We will set something else up tomorrow if you plan to stay another night, okay? I said okay. We went and got our things and locked up the truck and went in and went to bed. I woke up to this banging noise. I got up and went out to check to see what was going on. It was Sid splitting wood, and boy was he loud. He hit the wood and it just fell all apart. I said, wow, what time is it anyway? Sid said, don't know what time it is, but I need wood to keep the fire going. It gets cool here at night, so I need some wood. I said, okay, then I guess it is time to get up then. Sid said, the sun just come up and soon it will be warm in the room you are in too. My cabin is right by where you are at and it will warm up there too. I said okay, and I went back and put my shoes on and gathered up my stuff. Mac was still sleeping. I guess a lot of noise don't bother him. Then Mac said, is it time to get up yet? Sid made enough noise to wake up one city block where I come from. I said he made enough noise to wake me up too. I guess it is time to get up now. The place started to warm up now, and I said I will go to the truck and find something for us to eat. I went out and got in the back and opened the cooler and took out some stuff and some drinks and headed back to the cabin. I got there and opened the door and I hear a voice through the wall say, breakfast is ready if you want some. We got up and went over to see what he had to eat. We got in there and he had scrambled eggs and it looked like homemade biscuits. Sid said, sit down and try my eggs and biscuits. I said, all I want is just a little bit. I am not supposed to have eggs. We sat and ate and it was not too bad. Sid said, I have some chickens out back and I have all kinds of eggs every day. Once in a while I will cook a chicken and boy is that good. I said to Sid, let us go and check out the last store on the left. Sid said okay, and we all got up and headed to the store. We got there and opened the door and everything in the whole place was scattered all over the place. It seemed to be good size, and I went out back and there was a big door that opened into a small parking lot or turn around. The road went in back of all the stores. I guess this will do for now. We went back inside and I looked around some more. I found a small office in the back room. Then I found a stairway. One went up and the other went down. I looked at Sid and said, where do these stairs go? Sid said, I guess one of them goes to the basement where they used to keep in the stuff that needed to be kept cool. The upstairs might be where they lived when they run the store. I said okay, and I headed upstairs, and at the top of the stairs there was a door. I opened the door and there was a big room the same size of the one downstairs. There was some smaller rooms on the side of the room. I went over and one was a small closet and the one was a good-sized bedroom. I said, I guess this will work. I went back downstairs and Max said all there was in the basement was a small room with shelves. I guess that is where they used to keep the entire homemade canned goods and other things. I said okay, let's go and check out some of the other stores here. Sid said some of them are older than this one and the floors, and not very good. You might walk across the floor and end up in the basement if there's one. I said okay, I will be careful. We check out all the rest of the stores and ended back to the store we slept in last night. I said to Sid either there were power lines at A&N's place and I wonder if we can get the power company to bring the lines out here and set up power for us here. Sid said I tried that once but they turned me down because they said we would not use enough power to make it worthwhile for them to do that. I guess we will see if the one that rented the whole side of the street brings in power to run all this businesses here. Then we will just have them hook up to this side of the street too. Sid said that sounds like a plan and I can go along with that. We went back to Sid's place and sat and talked for some time and it was mid-afternoon and I said well it's time to leave now. I will be back with stuff to open the store within 2 or 3 days. So can you get the place cleaned and ready to move stuff and when I get back? Sid said within 3 days I can get it all cleaned and ready for you. I said okay, that will work. We left and headed back to the Lost Hotel. It was not long before we got back and when we drove in someone come out from the hotel and said there is a lot of people here asking about the Lost Town. Where have you guys been? I said we were at the Lost Town checking things out. They said wow, you know where it is? I said we sure do. How many people are here to asking about the Lost Town? He just looked at me and said we rented over 400 rooms within the last 3 days. Does that ask your question? I said wow. There will not be that much room in the town for that many to show up all at once. He said how big is the town anyway? When it was booming there was only about 80 people there. He said wow, I guess with that many wanting to go there would be no room even to park that many cars either. I guess we will just have to set up big hall so we can talk to everyone that is interested going to the Lost Town. He said that would be a good idea. I said set up everything up 2 days from now in the big hall at 7 p.m. He said okay, will do. We went out back and unloaded and put the truck back in the barn. Then we took everything inside and put it away in the maintenance room. Max said it will be alright here until we need it next time. I said okay and I took the food we had left and took it back to my hotel room. When I got there Jane was there and said will you finally decide to come home? I said I was only gone overnight. She said it seemed like 2 days. I said okay, what has been going on here? She said there are a lot of people here asking about the Lost Town. I told them to see you when you get back. I said I have talked to the kid at the desk and we are going to set up the big hall to tell everyone about the Lost Town. She said that is a good idea. I said let's go and get something to eat. She said I could get something now, it is almost dinner time anyway. We got up and went to the dinner and sat down. I looked around and the place seemed to be full. I have a table that I sit at and they keep it open for us. We did not wait long before one of the waiters come over and took our orders. We talked some and before we know it we had our meals. We ate and when we were done I said I have to go and talk to Betty. Jane said okay, can I come with you? I said okay, let's go. We went to the front desk and asked to talk to Betty. The kid behind the counter called her and she said for you to go to her room. I said okay. We walked to her room and knocked on the door. She said come in and we opened the door and went in. She said wow, where have you been? I have heard so much about what you were doing and now I get to find out if it is all true. I said okay, here is the story. I told her what went on and she said wow, whatever you are going to do with the little town will really help our business. I have almost half the rooms rented now. We never had over 200 rooms rented at one time and that was hunting season. Let me know if I can help you out some. I think the more I help you the more you are going to help me. I said yes because this is the only hotel in the area that can hold this many people all at once. She said well I guess I will help you as much as I can. The more I help you the more rooms I can rent. I said that will be really good. What I want to do is kind of set it up as a tourist trap. We get a bus and take them from here and go to the lost town and they visit there for the day and come back here at night to stay. We can take a load once a day up there and you can sell all the packages from here and advertise them. We can set up a price for the packages and then a price so we can both make money on this. She said, wow, that will really work too. We can rent room out all summer and half the fall. Like hunting season will bring in some too. Then will your business, the Lost Hotel, will be booming. I guess we will have to get more rooms ready as soon as we can. I said yes you will. I will need an old school bus that can hold up to 30 at a time. I don't want to deal with over that a day. If it gets really busy we can always add another bus. The small town can hold much more than 30 at a time unless we really get busy and fix all the buildings and get things set up for the tourist trade. She said whatever you need let Mac know and he will get it for you. As long as you don't go over $1,000 a month to get it set up there will be no charge for everything you get. I will make it up with room rentals and all the food we will be selling. I said that is for sure. She went over and picked up the phone and called Mac and told him what to do and then she hung up. I said thank you and would you like to have supper with us later? She said okay but make it about 7 okay. I have got some stuff to do. I said that will be fine. We both got up and went back out our room. I sat down in the chair and turned on the TV. Jane said wow I guess we will be staying here from now on. What are we going to do with our place in town? I said we are going to move everything to the lost town. We will still stay here and we will stay there too. She said okay I guess that will work. Okay now how far have you got to get some things down in the town? Well not much all the time we was looking around and checking out all the buildings and all the other things that was there. It is about 20 miles north of here but it takes an hour and a half to get there because of all the back roads. We will have to fix some of the small bridges on the way there over time. There is a small store that will have to fill up with stuff for everyone to buy when they are up there. Like Indian stuff and other things. Lots of trinkets and then set up a small dinner. Then more stores to sell stuff. It will take some time to get things set up. Even places for everyone to go fishing and set up a camping area. There are a lot of things we can do in town. Then I told her I have rented one whole side of town for $2,000 a month to a guy that is going to tear it all down and rebuild on the left side of town. I don't know what he is going to put in but I hope he realizes that without power here there are only some things you can and others you cannot. I hope he can get the power company to put in power lines to town. Then we can maybe get power too. She said that would really make the town if you had power. There was an old inn there but it fell in and it has to be torn down and then maybe we could build a small inn and dinner on that land. It is not very far from town. She said that would work. When can we start to get things going up there? I have to go to town in the morning and go to the bank. She said why? I said the guy rented the whole left side of town. Well he gave me a check for the whole year of rent. I have a check for $24,000 for the rent. She said wow. I guess we can get things set up there now. I said yup we can get some things set up and going and get a small bus and get the gift shop going and a small fishing area and a small campsite and then start bring people up here to see if it is something that is really going to work. She said wow I guess maybe it will. Will there be swimming up there too? I said there is a place you can go swimming there. We just have to set up a fenced-in area so no one goes beyond the fence. There will be all kinds of things going on. Then we don't know what the guy will build but whatever he builds it will bring more people up here to do things. The space he has is not really that big. He will have to build second floors but not many will go upstairs to buy stuff. Maybe if he rented some rooms but nowhere near what we are going to do. We will make the money taking everyone back and forth. Later on we will have to clean some land and put in a big parking lot. And even maybe paid parking too. We will have to figure out about the water and everything else we will need up here. We might go with portable potties because we will not have to dig into the ground and put in a septic system in. The only thing here is the bears are only about 15 miles north of here. Once the bears find out we are here and we will have much garbage around, the bears will be in it. We are just going to have some way to get rid of it away from town. Maybe we can set up a small landfill someplace up here on our land. Never know all the stuff we can do here. Just have to get things going one thing at a time. Jane said it will take some time, but we will get things going up there. Well, it is time for bed now, and we watched some TV and then went to bed. 6 months later, I went in and got everyone that wanted to go to the Lost Town. After the bus was loaded, we headed to the Lost Town. We got there and I let everyone off. I said to myself, everything is set up and running now. The guy is starting to tear down the buildings now and he is making headway. I see power lines coming to town now, and I guess he talked to the power company to put power in town now. We just have to find out how we can have power too. I will talk to him when I can about it. We have the fishing place all set up with a good-sized camping area, and the store is open, and Sid is getting really busy with the town hall and all the stuff that is going on now. I got there and headed to the store, and Sid was there, and he said, "Wow, it is really getting busy here, and I guess I will need some help now." I said, "Hire someone to help you and train them. I know that you are still the mayor and judge and everything else around here. If I can help, let me know, okay?" Sid said, "I am getting old now and I want to retire and just run the store here. I want you to come over to my office at lunchtime. That is about 12 noon, okay?" I said, "Okay, I will be there." I left and walked around town until noontime, and then I headed to his office. I got there and he was sitting at his desk looking at some papers. He saw me and said, "Come over here and sit down." I went over and sat down, and then he said, "I have to ask you some question." I said, "Okay." Sid said, "Have you ever been convicted of a crime?" I said, "No." He said, "That is good." Then Sid said, "Have you ever spent time in jail for a major crime?" I said, "No." He said, "Good." Then Sid said, "Do you swear to uphold the law, to tell the truth, to help others in need, and if all possible not to shoot anyone?" I said, "I do." He said, "With the power vested in me, I make you the town mayor, the judge, the sheriff, and the city clerk of the Lost Town." He said, "Sign here." He handed me a long form of paper and I signed it, and then he gave me another one and I signed that one too. He passed me the first one, said, "You can hang this on the wall in here and you can use the frame that I have mine, and because I am going to take mine down and you can put yours up. The second copy goes into the file, so if the one on the wall gets messed up you will always have one to show." I said, "Can you make up some more of them? I want to put one in every office that I am in." Sid said, "This is the jail, city hall, and the courthouse." I said, "Really, it don't look like it from here." Sid said, "I never got to show you the rest of this place." I said, "I guess you didn't." Sid got up and said, "Follow me." We went through a door and we were in the big room with all kinds of chairs and a platform up front. He said, "This is the courtroom/city hall." Then we went through another door and we were in a room with beds in it. Sid said, "Do you remember the room you sleep in the first night?" I said, "Yes." He said, "That was part of the jail. The back room where you were in is the jail. You sleep out front where the deputy would sleep." I said, "Okay." Wow, I guess there was a lot I did not see. Sid said, "I guess there was." He said, "Here are the keys to the whole building. Upstairs there are rooms for all the help to sleep. Out back of my office there is a small apartment and kitchen. I am going to move up over the store and stay there from now on. You can move in here and take over. I will help you out for a little while so you can get the hang of it all. There are not much going on right now. Once in a while we will have some cause trouble, and you will have to arrest them and put them in jail overnight to sober off. Then you can take them to court in the morning and fine them and then let them go. Well, I guess we will have to get some help up here now." since said it would be good to have a real deputy here to take care of most of the arrests and then bring them to court in the morning. In back of the bench in the courtroom there is a chart on all the fines for everything that goes on here. We have added more overtime so it should take care of all the stuff that will go on. By now it was almost time to go back to the bus and head back to the Lost Hotel. I used the big bell that they used to use for the mine to tell everyone I am ready to go. So I went over and hit the bell. It was not long when everyone that wanted to go back to the hotel to show up. We all got in and we headed back to the hotel. When we got there I headed right back to our room, and when I got there Jane was watching TV and she said we have to pack tonight because we are going to move to the Lost Town. She just looked at me and said, "Why do we have to do that?" I said, "I have a job for you to help me with." She said, "What kind of job?" "All you have to do is sit in the office and do some paperwork." She said, "I guess I can do that." Then she said, "When do you plan to have electricity and running water and a regular flush?" I said, "As soon as I can get some handyman to come and work for us to put all that in." She said, "Okay, then within 2 or 3 weeks we'll do then. We will have to come back here on the weekends and take a shower and just relax." I said, "That sounds like a plan." I called Mac and had him come to our room. It was not long before he showed up, and then I said, "Do you know of anyone that would like a job? I am in need of all kinds of people right now." He said, "I know of at least 5 people that need work." I said, "Who are they?" He said, "All my sisters and mom and dad. That would really good to get them all out of my house and someplace else. Then me and the wife would have some peace and quit." I said, "Maybe I can use them all." "You mean you were getting to the point to where you need help in the Lost Town?" I said, "Boy, do I need help. Here, I will make you a list of the ones I need to see if any one of them can do the job. I need 2 deputies, a handyman good with plumbing, electric, heating and all kinds of things, tour guide, bus driver and maybe 2 of them, janitor, attorney, and attorney general, newspaper reporter with the publishing of a newspaper, painter, and whatever else is needed in town." He said, "Wow, that is a list. I can help you with some of it but not all of it. I will talk to them and we will see what we can do. When do you want to put them all to work?" "As soon as they want to start." He left and I said to Jane, "What do you think of all the stuff that will be going on?" She looked at me and said, "It sounds like you are the mayor of that town." I looked at her and then I said, "I am the new mayor, judge, sheriff, and city clerk." She just looked at me and said, "What happened to Sid?" He said he was going to retire and he said come to his office, and when I got there he asked me some questions and said sign here, and then said I was the new mayor, judge, sheriff, and city clerk. Then he passed me the form that I signed and it says that I am the sole and elected mayor, judge, sheriff, and city clerk of the Lost Town. Elections will be held once every 10 years. Then he said the only ones that can vote are the ones that have lived here over 5 years. So by then no one will be here to even vote. If no one is to vote, have a meeting with your wife and just vote yourself back in. Then have her type up the paperwork and sign it and then post it on the wall. I did that all those years. I was the only one here, so I just copied the form and signed it and put the new date on it. Then after a while I just did not put the date on it and never had to have another election because there was no one here. Then I had an election when you got here and I voted you in for all the jobs, and then that is why all you had to do was sign the paperwork." She said, "That is why you asked me to do all the paperwork for you." I said, "There will not be much. Really the only thing will be if we bring in someone for causing trouble, you will have to do the paperwork to sign them into jail and do the paperwork for the next day court. Then the bail bondsman will bring him back and he will pay the fine and he will sign the paperwork and he or they will be on their way." She said that should be pretty easy. "We will set up something so you can use a printer and a laptop in the office so it will be easy to print out the forms we will need." She said, "How you are going to do that?" "Solar and wind power to charge batteries." If there is no wind or sun, we can set up a backup generator until the power can be turned on here. He said, how long will that be? I am hoping that we can have power within a week. Now 6 months later, the power is on and everything is getting done to put in the plumbing and all the outlets and lights in all these places. The guy across the street has just about all the foundations in and has started to put the walls up. It is going to be a good sized place. There is a big sign out front when you come into town. The sign says the Lost Town Hotel, Bar, and Casino. It has been almost a year now and there is a lot for him to still do. I was in the office when the guy that is building the hotel next door come in and said, "Wow, you are here. I have been trying to find you for about a week now." I said, "I have been around here someplace for about a week." Then he said, "The rest still the same for the next year?" I said, "Yes, it is." He said, "Good," and passed me a check. I looked at it and it was 24. It was last year. He said, "I will be back later for the new lease." I said, "Okay, you can see Jane, she is the assistant clerk now." He said okay and went out the door. She said, "So I am now the assistant clerk now." She said, "I can live with that." I said, "What is the guy's name?" She said he was with S&S Construction Company. His name is Kevin Cacklin. I said, "Wow, what a last name." Jane said, "I guess so." Oh yes, while I think of it, have you seen Anne Harrington? Jane said, "Old Anne?" I said, "Yes." Jane said she comes in here once a month and pays me $300.00 for the rental on her house on the main road, and out back is the old Diane. I said, "That is the one." That is good because she knows if she don't we can evict her off that land. Jane said, "We own that too." I said, "Yes, we own 976 acres up here. We own about 10 miles square. 5 miles north, south, east and west of town." She said, "Wow, I did not know we owned so much." Yes, we own a lot of it up here. The thing is, now we have to go and put up a road and a fence around what we own, so no one will build on our land and call it their own. In time we can put up more fishing and hunting camps. There is just so much we can do with the land up here. Jane said, "I guess there is." What is going to happen when the hotel is open next door? I said, "All that we'll do is bring more people here that will spend money. If there is trouble, we will get all the fines and fees from the tent camp and profits from the store, and in time we can up the rent on the hotel next door. So we will have the money to do what we want to get the rest of the hunting and fishing camps set up elsewhere." Jane said, "I guess there will be. The check you just got from the guy next door will pay everyone that works here all year long." I know, and we will have some left over too. Plus the 300 from the house and more from the tent camp. We will be doing all right. Oh yes, we will also get some money for selling of the packages from the Lost Hotel too. Most of everyone that comes up here will go back to that hotel. You know, unless this hotel can handle over 600 or more a weekend. The Lost Hotel can handle more than that. So the bus service will still run back and forth every day. Maybe up to 4 buses per day or more. We will see. Everyone might want to come up and play cards and then go fishing, or just one or the other. But there will be a lot to do. 6 months later. The Lost Town Hotel, Bar and Casino is just about done now. It seems like they got the outside done and working on the inside. There have been trucks after trucks here delivering stuff. Our buses are running about 3 a day now. Everyone is coming up here and staying in the camp waiting for the Lost Town Hotel, Bar and Casino to open. We have opened a little dinner about 4 months ago and it is doing pretty good. We have a lot of homemade stuff and a good size menu. We have some trucks coming up here about twice a week now too. They bring mostly food and some other things we need. There is a lot coming up and looking around and go back at night. This went on for about another 2 weeks. I kind of liked it. They come up here and stopped at the store and then go to the dinner and eat, then go down by the river and see everyone fishing. Then they go back to the store and buy a small fishing kit and some worms and come back and fish some. You ought to see them when they caught a fish. It is like they never caught one before. I guess some probably have not ever gone fishing. So this is the first time they ever caught one. You should have seen them jumping around and yelling. What a sight to see. The next morning everything changed. They announced that the Lost Town Hotel, Bar and Casino is open for business. All of a sudden there was like stampede to the front door. It seemed like everyone from town went into the place. People were going in and out all day long. They would go in and then come right back out and say, wow, the place is so full you can't even get a seat. They headed over to the dinner and got something to eat. It seemed like the dinner started to fill up. I guess the food over there was too expensive and they come over here. I went into the dinner and sat down and listened to the ones that went into the hotel. They said the food was gourmet and costs a lot. For one plate was 30.00 and then the drinks was more. Before you were done you could have spent 50.00. That is why I come over here. I can get a whole meal for less than 10.00. Then at one time I thought that was high to eat here, but not now. Then I went over to see how much the rooms are and they wanted 200.00 per night, and that was for 2 double beds and bathroom on the side and 1 free meal. I said that is not too bad unless you have 4 people and only 1 eats for free. Plus it all depends how long you want to stay up here for. I don't know what the Lost Hotel charges now. They said it was only 100.00 per night for 2 queen beds and the use of the pool, and 1 free meal for 2. I said wow, it would be worth it to take the bus back and forth to come up here for the day. They said yes it would. As long as you rent the room the bus trip is free. They give out bus passes to everyone that rents a room. We are glad we rented the rooms for a week now. We can stay here overnight at the campsite for free with the pass. I said yes you can. Did you bring your tent? Nope, but we will go and rent one for the night. I said go to the store and talk to Sid, he will set you right up. I got up and went over to the other side of the room and sat down. I listened for a while and ordered something to eat while I was there. Everyone was saying good things and bad things about the place. I think that everyone has to wait until they get their act together and get things really going to straighten things out so everything runs smoothly. We had to do that here too. It was not very soon when they adjusted their prices and started to serve food everyone liked and could afford. We still did a lot of business in the dinner. I guess everyone still liked the home-cooked meal. We used real potatoes and other things that we made. Homemade apple pie, homemade ice cream, and many other things. I guess the hotel could not compete with us on the food part. Most stayed to gamble, and if they spent enough money they could get a free room and food. As long as they gambled all day they could get all the free stuff they could get. But once they were broke they asked them to leave, and if they did not they threw them on the street out front. We used to go and get them and see what we would do to help them out. Most of the time they only spent what was on the card they had and did not spend everything they had. Once the card was declined they threw them out. I used to tell everyone, do not lose everything you have, because if you do, how will you get home? They said now that is a good question. We sent them back on the bus to the Lost Hotel to call someone to send them some money so they could pay the bill there and to get home. Most of the time that worked. I remember one guy that come here and went into play cards, and it was not long before they come out with him and he was all beat up. We went over and got him and I had him cleaned up, and then I got to talk to him. I said, what happened to you? They caught me counting cards and beat me up and threw me out and took all the money I had won. I said that is what happens when you cheat. He said I guess it is. Then someone from the casino come over and handed me some money and said, I see you have already picked up the guy that was cheating us and counting cards. This is the money he had when he started with. We only took what he tried to steal from us. I said, do you want to press charges? He said no we don't, but if he ever comes back into the casino we will press charges then. I said okay then you are free to go. I would suggest that you go back on the first bus back to the Lost Hotel and go home from there. He said is it alright if I stay and go to the camp and go fishing? I said yes as long as you stay away from the casino. He said I will. Then he got up and went out the door. He stayed around for about a week then he left and I never see him again. So far that is. A year has gone by and everything is going good here. We have had some things go on and some got put in jail but nothing we could not handle. We are in the stage now that we are expanding into other parts of the woods now. We are making roads and putting up cabins and areas to go fishing in. We have told a lot of people that come up here now that where the cabins are we would like for you to stay in the cabins at night because of the bears out there. If you are in a tent they can rip that down and eat you. You don't realize that once you go out into the woods they look at you as food. So don't just stand there and take pictures of the wildlife and don't think they will do anything because you are standing there taking pictures. They see you as food, so run as fast as you can and get into some place they cannot get you. Like your cabin that is made to be bear-proof. We build them that way on purpose. So the bears cannot get you at night or even in the day. They can tear up a car into little pieces and throw them around. Just think of what they can do to you. We tell everyone this that goes out into the woods. Make sure you have a gun and know how to use it. We have set up about 6 cabins so far and we are building more of them on the sites we have already set up. So it is always something going on around here. I just hope someday we will see you up here. Written by John Rulin 3. December 10th, 2014.
Until next time.